Welcome to the 6th episode of the MMTS podcast. My name is ISHAN, and as always, I'm here with my old man, but I have taken over the introduction because I'm convinced that I do it so much better than he does. Dad, how you going? What's poppin'?
Good. I've been relegated, obviously, to the bench position.
You have. You're playing left centre half bench on the intro. That's fine. Happens to the best of us.
So I can basically ask questions, and that's my job?
Yeah. You're a simple man. You serve a simple purpose.
Okay, so my wonderful emceeing, hosting skills are now defunct.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I feel like I'm gonna pay that. I'm gonna reap the rewards of this.
Or pay the price, you mean?
Pay the price. Yeah. Well, hey, you know. And
have you told everybody, your vast audience of 100 million people, what episode this is? What song we're talking about today?
First of all, it's 200 million. All right, check your facts. And second of all, no, I haven't. I was gonna do that. And I wanted to see if you catch me on it. That was a test, and you passed. And we are talking about If I Had No Song today.
Would you love me if I couldn't sing? Would you love me if I had no song?
Awesome. And I'll let you go with the questions.
Okay, thank you, ISHAN. So let me fire away. This is the 6th song you've released, as you said. And I'm curious as to whether the experience of releasing this song was similar or different to the others.
Similar and different. I think from a functional perspective, it's always the same. You put the song out, and obviously there's a lot of work that goes into that in sort of promoting the song, playing the song for other people. I think the key difference I noticed was that because If I Had No Song is written from the perspective of an artist specifically.
I've been writing everything about the two of us, the good, the bad, the things I've had to sing about, and nothing short of amazing, cause she's nothing short of amazing. And I wonder,
for the first time, I had a bunch of other artists reaching out and saying, hey, we love the song, but we actually really resonate with it. Like, it really holds meaning for us because it is, in that sort of singer-songwriter artist context. So that was really cool to have.
Awesome. Now, when I think of If I Had No Song, I sometimes, in my own mind, think of it as what I call the sandwich track. What I mean by that is a sandwich between two other releases in terms of the connected storyline or a narrative, right? So you've got Isabella and you've got Apologies, and If I Had No Song sort of sits in between, right? Can you help us piece together the puzzle and talk a little bit about where the spark for this song came from?
Sure. So should I go back to Isabella and start there? Yeah, okay. So I wrote Isabella when I was 16, and Isabella is a song basically explaining how I started going out with my girlfriend. We met in an igloo, and it was very cold, so to stay warm, we drank tea, and that's the whole thing.
she got me addicted to tea. Just to spend time with her, I drink water and leaves.
And then maybe 6 months on from that, I wrote this next song called If I Had No Song, where I had a little moment where I was feeling a little insecure, thinking, oh, well, maybe I'm in this great relationship, but it's only great because I'm writing songs about it. And that, that's obviously a source of excitement.
Begs the question of what she hanging on to. Is it really me?
It wasn't really a concern, but it was a kind of thing where it was a momentary, fleeting thought, and I thought, great, I'm going to run with that, and just, if it gives me a great song, that's fine. I wasn't it wasn't a real, heart-wrenching concern that it might be if it was real. And then after that, I was feeling bad about it. But again, I wasn't really feeling bad about it because I hadn't really felt it, so I wasn't really feeling bad.
Feeling bad in what way?
Well, so, I wrote If I Had No Song, but I wasn't really thinking, oh, this person doesn't like me for who I am, they only like me for my songs. That wasn't real. So in the same way that I was not really concerned or suspicious of that, I was then not really sorry. I was fake. I was in my own head, in my own little world, fake sorry.
I'm sorry, I was afraid. This is how apologies are made.
Again, just kind of still having a good time. It's almost like I was writing and starring in my own story in my own head. So it's like the Isabella was entirely real, and then I'm like kind of a little having these thoughts of doubt, and so I write If I Had No Song, but that wasn't really real. And then I'm kind of feeling sorry for having those thoughts of doubt, but I didn't really have those thoughts of doubt. So this kind of feeling sorry is not real either, and that is Apologies.
It's Apologies, yeah. Okay. Which came out before If I Had No Song.
Yes.
Got it. Okay. I'm curious around the the reality of the sentiment, though, not related to the actual relationship that you were in.
Yeah,
as you
the
said.
sentiment is real.
But this is more a question, I guess, and this is a bit of a deeper question around when you meet people, whether you ever have this concern that they're going to relate to you as an artist or as the individual that goes beyond the artist. And I'm also curious, I should not concern, curious around if you project, and let's just say you do get potential future success, and that's obviously a big if, whether you have any concern that the relationships that you form are going to be coloured by the fact that you might be an artist as opposed to somebody who's more less out there in the public domain.
That's a great question. Hey, I wasn't expecting that. Well done. Yeah, look, I don't have an amazing answer. It's definitely something that I think about. Something I chat to my friends about. They all like to remind me that, especially once I put out this EP that we haven't really spoken about, but is coming, that does talk a lot more about things that are maybe a little bit more real than some of these songs that have already come out. Then everyone I meet from that point on, or potentially if they hear the music, is going to know a lot about me personally, and I'm going to know nothing about them. So it does then color. It must color a relationship. If we've never met and I know all these quite intimate things about you, just because it's the nature of your job, you share those things, and you know nothing about me. That's quite an unusual way to meet someone.
Maybe she's just caught up in the buzz, 'cause writing songs about us is exciting for me as well.
And I don't really, there's nothing to be done about it. That's just kind of how it is. And yeah, I don't know how I feel about it, because, obviously there's a part of me that loves sharing. There's a big part of me that loves sharing. That's why I do this. That's why I get on stage. I wrote this song the other day called Chaos Grenade, which is totally besides the point, other than there's this one line that goes, try to understand this is not about music, so fuck your 7th chord and your standardized tuning. I just need a place that I can vent sometimes, make a little bit of, and so I just need a place that I can vent sometimes. I'm not really, I love music, don't get me wrong, but what I love more than that is actually the fact that singing and writing songs gives me a platform to kind of share what I'm feeling. So I love that. But at the same time, I have absolutely no idea what to do about the fact that it is going to color my relationships with people. It is going to change my relationships and affect them from the very beginning. And I don't think there's anything to be done.
You hear about hear stories of a lot of people who are highly successful, and it doesn't have to be just music. It can be sport, or it can be film, and they find it very hard to live normal lives. And so I would imagine that if I had no song, would you love me if I couldn't sing? Would you love me if I had no song? A lot of people who are very much in the public domain might have this doubt whether people are, nice to them, like them, love them, form relationships with them based on who they are as individuals or who they are in the public domain as famous individuals. As I said, you're a long way away from that. But just in terms of, you are trying to go out there and get your music out there, which would have therefore some level of public being known is a better way of saying it. Do you ever worry that that's a lifestyle, or that's going to change the way that you experience the world?
Again, it's so far away, so it's definitely something I thought about, but it's like, part of me thinks that would be not a great problem to have, but if I'm sort of saying, okay, well, music is what I love and it's what I want to do with my life. There's probably not a world in which I can have the level of success I want to have so that I can engage with my art fully to the fullest extent. There's not a world where I have that, but then I don't have this thing of, my music is then well known enough that, it sort of seeds out in my relationships. So again, it's like, it feels so far away. And so, my friends ask me, what do you think about this? It's because, call it a possibility between somewhere between 0 and 100%, right? Without even making any judgment. But it's like, it's just such a foreign thing. I have no idea how to even go about.
Okay. Yeah. So what I'm hearing from that is that you are really focused on your music and getting it out there, and this is success. If you are successful, this is part and parcel of being successful.
Yeah, it's definitely not like it's not what I'm excited about. What I'm excited about, what I'm aiming for, what I'm working hard for, my whole goal with this whole thing is to be in a position where enough people know about my music and enjoy my music that I'm actually able to earn a living from it, and so I don't have to be an engineer. All the other stuff, if there's fame, if there's people taking photos of me all the time, that's not awesome. But if it enables the rest of it, the lifestyle of music, then that's worth it.
Got it. Okay, let's go back to If I Had No Song.
Yeah.
And this was all about the meaning behind it, because I think the sentiment is quite... that's why I think why it resonated to a lot of artists.
And I guess there's an argument to be made that perhaps it's a projection into the future. If I am successful, maybe I'll look back in 10 years and go, wow, that is exactly how it is.
So let's go back to If I Had No Song. Do you have a favourite part of the song, a favourite lyric, or a section from a production perspective sort of makes you punch the air?
Yeah, I do. I really like the... there's a vocal harmony that happens in the chorus. Strum your fears on the word strum your fears and all your tears away.
Strum your fears and all your tears away.
So when I play live, I've got a performance band, and so Maeve, the guitarist, sort of sings this upper harmony, and it's quite an intellectual harmony, I guess. It's not out there. It's just it's clever. It's a clever harmony, and it's really cool. So when you listen to the song, maybe now you'll listen out for it because I'm mentioning it. But
we should actually put it in the podcast.
Yeah. So the vocal harmony is more prominent than harmonies in my other songs and harmonies in a lot of songs. It's not like a subtle in the background. Like you can really it's a double. Like there is a second voice that is quite prominent, and you can really hear it. And they intertwine, and it's just awesome.
So I think the first time that I've asked a similar question, we actually happened to be aligned around your favourite part and one of my favourite parts of the song as well.
Really? You like that?
I love that.
Okay, so that's interesting because when we were producing it, and we got it back, I remember saying to Joel, who's a producer, I said, let's turn up this harmony. I'm loving it. And I remember I can't remember what his stance. I know he loved the harmony. I think he wrote the harmony. I can't remember what his stance was on kind of having it more prominent. But I think you were against having it more prominent. I think you wanted it to be more subtle than it ended up being.
Yeah, but I'm old. I get to change my mind all the time. That's what happens with age.
Yeah.
Right. You.
All right.
Yeah. So
it's not fun when you make those jokes.
Yeah. Okay. So back to If I Had No Song. For me, when you wrote this, I remember when you played it for me the first time, I thought it represented a bit of an inflection point where the narratives became so much more critical to your artistic expression. Now, did you feel that at the time, or is this only with hindsight that you can see this? Perhaps you think I'm wrong and I'm full of shit, and you were always writing very much the great stories and narratives.
Okay, well, I don't want to put it like that because nice, just smack the mouth with your front teeth. That's awesome. Despite what you think, I don't always want to slag you off and call you a whatever. But I think that I've always had this thing in me that I wanted to write narratives. I agree with you. It probably this song and maybe a couple of the songs that I wrote around it, either side of it, represented a turning point. Not in what I wanted to do with my art, but more what I could do. I think that was a point in my life where I probably started to have more to talk about. And so up until that point, I think there was still narratives in my songs, but they were all coming from just purely from my head. So purely making up, going off movies or TV shows or kind of what I thought I knew about relationships. And so I had a lot more to talk about all of a sudden.
Highly intellectual narratives like Galactic Empire.
All right, hey, Galactic Empire was a fantastic song, and the fact that it didn't win me a Grammy is pretty poor.
All good. Now, do you remember playing this song? Do you remember the first time you played the song live? And it was at an open mic. Probably the first open mic that you ever did when you were 16.
Oh, in the sticks, right?
Yeah.
With the cool lighting?
Yeah, it feant like it feels like a bit of a lifetime ago, I guess.
It does, yeah.
But I can remember it quite clearly. What are your memories of playing that live? And do you remember a bit about the reaction you received?
Well, I remember the song definitely went through evolutions just kind of with me at home. So I think if there was, I don't know if we have a clip of that, but it would probably sound different. Like, I don't think the song, you know, a lot of my songs, like, they're written and they're kind of like, they're kind of just done. That was one of the few that I think I wrote it, but it kept kind of getting tweaked. What are my memories of playing it live? I don't know. It was good. I don't remember the performance. I don't remember coming away thinking, wow, I sung that really well, or wow, the crowd. I mean, what crowd? There was 8 people.
It was an open mic in the sticks.
Yeah. I tell you what I remember most of all. What I remember was that the guy that ran the open mic, he ran the open mic, and he was the engineer. There was sort of like a top balcony in the place, and so he was standing like in the, I guess you call it the bleachers.
Yeah.
And you know, he was kind of fiddling with the sound and playing with the lights. And I remember after I finished, so this, context being, this was right when COVID was starting. It was just before, this was the last open mic I could do before COVID hit. And this was when toilet paper was starting to become a big thing. Do you know where this is going? Do you remember this?
Yeah.
And so what he was doing after every person got up was he was giving away toilet paper as a prize. And so obviously, you know, he liked my set. He thought I did a good job. And so afterwards he came down and he handed me a whole roll of toilet paper. And that was like the big award for the night.
Given the scarcity.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, if I can also just jump in here with my memory of that. So it was the first time you'd really played some of this material in front of a non-family, friends, school environment, right? And you played a couple of other small things, but and it was still small. I mean, don't get me wrong. But I remember the you got up and you were one of the first, if not the first person to play on that open mic. And
3 people played.
Yeah. Well, I think
you know what? I did a sound check because there was no one around. We got there because we always get to things. Well, we get to things on time.
Yeah.
So we did a sound check for like 20 minutes and just had fun with it.
But no one was really listening to the sound check. And I remember that you played this first song, and there was a bit of stunned silence after the song. And this guy, it was a bit like, holy shit, this guy actually isn't that bad, because a lot of time you get open mics, especially where that was in the sticks, and it wasn't, the expectation wasn't super high.
We want to make something clear at this point. We have nothing against the sticks.
No.
We love the term the sticks. That's why I'm using it and not saying it.
But it wasn't.
And there's nothing against open mics. People at open mics, fantastic.
Well, in fact, open mics, you spend a lot of time playing open mics.
That's the best thing ever. So we want the open mic community needs to not hate on us.
Yeah, no. In fact,
because the internet's a dangerous place, my friend.
Yeah. No, I mean, like to be really clear, you spend a lot of time playing open mics. Is how you got your performance class up there. So massive shout out to,
I'm just
to
saying,
open mics. Yeah.
There's a 5-second soundbite that can be weaponized. So I'm just like,
nice.
Internet safety.
No. So this was an open mic with not a lot of people, but there was a bit of stunned silence, and for me, it provided the first sense of validation as to actually, there's something here.
So many questions on my mind, such little time to spend with her.
Right, because as your dad, of course, I'm going to be proud and love the stuff you do. But and then the guy that when you signed off at the end of the day, end of your set, I remember his comment was, "I'm pretty certain we'll be hearing a lot more from this guy," which provided me some validation as to I'm not just a proud dad who's supporting his son singing off key. No, he actually there's something here. So that was my memory of that open mic. And If I Had No Song was the first song that you did on that open mic set.
Wow.
Yeah.
I remember that so differently, but I'm glad that gave you confidence.
It did. Now, continuing with the live theme, and my second last question, you recently did a launch gig for both this song and Apologies, and
Yes.
How did that go?
Oh, it was fantastic. It was so cool. So we played at the Workers Club, which is definitely a place I've wanted to play for a while, which is great. The stage is awesome. The room is awesome. It was the first gig with the full performance band. So shout out to Angus, Maeve, Aaron, and Luca. We've the last gig I did, we had Angus on drums and Luca on bass, but now we also added in guitar and keys, and so we had a very much a full sound. It was awesome. First time that everyone came together, and it was tight. Have we lost audio? No, we're good. Okay. And it's fantastic.
To me, what was a big difference this gig was it's the first time there's been one or two songs where the audience has known the music and sung along. But here it's set like a bunch of songs, people singing along with you.
Yeah, I mean, it's for sure all the ones that are on Spotify. So, like Go had a lot of people singing along. Bad Dream, a lot of people knew. If I Had No Song, people knew. Obviously, it hasn't been on there as long. So it was cool because I could see when I started playing, for example, If I Had No Song, there were some people that knew the lyrics and so they were singing along, and then there were some people that had heard the song, so they knew the tune but they didn't know the melody. So it was dark, so I couldn't see very clearly, but I could sort of see people getting their phones out and getting lyrics up. So they were all like crowding around doing lyrics, and because they knew the tune, so they could sing along as well. So there was
awesome.
It was and that's the first time. I mean, I think last gig maybe had a couple of people sing Go, but really this was the first time where there was a room and we were all singing together. That was really cool.
Awesome. So tell us what's next for you. What are you excited about?
Well, I'm excited for The Mandalorian most of all. That's probably the most exciting thing. It's not my music career at all, but that's kind of where my energy levels are at. It's Mandalorian. And beyond The Mandalorian, which again, can't stress enough, is the most exciting thing I've got going on. No, I've got, so my next single is coming out on the 2nd of May, which is my 20th birthday, which will be a very fun day. It's called Hello. I guess it's the last song in the trio of Apologies, If I Had No Song, and now Hello. It's got a fantastic music video coming out. It's the first music video that, how do I put it? I think it's reached a new level now where it really tells a story of its own. So obviously the songs all tell stories, but the music video, this one's gotten to a point now where it kind of has its own narrative. So it's a really rich video. And it's raining. It's fantastic. And what else? And then I've got an EP coming out, or starting to come out in July, I think is the plan. And I'll probably talk more about that later. But in the short to medium term there's a single coming out 2nd of May. It's going to be awesome. I'm going to start busking. That's kind of on the live side of things. That's my next big project, I guess, is busking more regularly, because Melbourne is a very cool place to be. It's a very cool place to be a musician, and when there's live music out, it's pretty awesome. And
perfecting your ability to bring in a loop machine as part of that busking.
Yeah. So the loop station is definitely going to be a big part of my busking set. So we're working on building a little trolley together so I can actually take all my stuff out there rather than like carrying shit over my shoulder and like behind my back. So yeah, I'll catch you in the streets, in the mean streets of Melbourne, perhaps. See me busking, come say hello. You being one of 8 listeners at the moment. Okay. So I'd be very excited to meet you. That'd be crazy.
Awesome. Well, Ishan, thank you once again.
Thank you. Thanks for having me in my own show.
And I can say, at least from a family perspective, and I'm sure there are, we always joke about the lack of a number of people listening to the podcast, but you are building the number of people who enjoy your music. I'm sure I can say on behalf of the family and all of them that we're glad that you do have a song.
All right.
That was nice. That was cheesy.
Bullshit.
That was cheesy as, wasn't it? Come on, that was a beautiful ending. Now you wrecked it. But there you go.
All right.
Signing off.
Bye, everyone.
I wrote a song about her and played it through these tiny headphones. I told her that I liked her, it was very high school. She said she nearly fainted, well that was certainly exaggerated. But it begs the question of what she hanging on to. So really me, would you love me if I couldn't sing? Would you love me if I had no song? If I couldn't hit these notes, would everything be wrong? Would you love me if I couldn't sing? Would you love me if I couldn't strum your fears and all your tears away? Would you love me if I had no song? I've been writing everything about the two of us, the good, the bad, the things I've had to sing about, and nothing short of amazing, 'cause she's nothing short of amazing. And I wonder, maybe she's just caught up in the buzz, 'cause writing songs about us is exciting for me as well. Would you love me if I couldn't sing? Would you love me if I had no song? If I couldn't hit these notes, would everything be wrong? Would you love me if I couldn't sing? Would you love me if I couldn't strum your fears and all your tears away? Would you love me if I had no song? So many questions on my mind, such little time to spend with her. How many hours for I know for sure if I'm doing the right thing, pushing through uncertainty. All these voices in my head telling me I should leave, but I stick around, 'cause I don't know how to let go of hope now. Would you love me if I couldn't sing? Would you love me if I had no song? If I couldn't hit these notes, would everything be wrong? Would you love me if I couldn't sing? Would you love me if I couldn't strum your fears and all your tears away? Would you love me if I had no song? So I ask her now, if she's in the crowd, do you love me because of me? And if not, I think you should leave.